Before we jump on our episode today, I wanted to ask a quick favor and ask you to hit the subscribe button. We have lots of listeners now, and we really appreciate that. But what really helps us grow is that subscribe button. Our guest today, Lei Wang, is amazing, and I know it's going to make you want more. And at the end, you might forget to hit the subscribe button. So, since I'm predicting you're going to love it and you're going to want more, hit that subscribe button now. Thanks so much. Enjoy the show. Have you ever looked around at your life and thought everything seems fine, so why does it feel like something is missing? Our guest today is explorer, speaker, and leadership coach Lei Wang, the first Asian woman and one of only a handful of people in the world to complete the Explorer's Grand Slam, which is climbing the highest mountain on every continent and skiing to both the North and South Poles. But before all of that, Lei was living what many people would consider the perfect life. A Wharton MBA, a successful finance career, stable income, the future everyone expected her to want. But one unexpected daydream changed everything and called her towards a completely different life.
When I had this daydream in 2004, I just graduated from Wharton with an MBA degree. I just started a very envied job in finance. I had the life everyone would dream for, want to get. So I thought I was successful. Everyone telling me, wow, what a successful life, what a successful career. Somehow I felt underlying something is missing. I didn't feel that something I'm excited about. So along the journey, when I started first was because of health goal, right? Then along the journey, then I begin to get panicked because I fell in love with climbing in that process. Then the question is, who are you? You just graduated with MBA with a huge student loan on your shoulder. You started a new job. You grew up a traditional Chinese culture where education, career, everything, normal life, that's what you dream for. That's what you are supposed to do. Now, who are you trying to go climbing? My parents asked me, how are you going to make a living? Can you make money in the mountain? I said, I have no idea. Because at that time, although sports was not something so fashionable. Sports, the climbing were called dirt baggers. What does that mean? You carry a huge backpack with very cheap food, go into the mountain, melt the snow, make the water, then pour into some dry food to eat. And you shiver in the night, you came back home dirty, exhausted. You look like no one would think, oh wow, that's a corporate professional I want to follow, right? So that's not the envied life. So I had all the questions like, who am I? Why I'm doing this? Then I asked myself, okay, am I trying to escape something? No, actually I had a pretty good life. Why should I want to escape that life? It's a good life. Okay, am I just a person who want to do something easier? That I'm a coward, I cannot face a challenge. So well, to live the life in the mountain was much harder. It's survival against all the elements. That's not the easy path I was choosing. I said, okay, then what's the answer? That means something in my heart called for that.
I sure hope you stay for the rest of Lei's story and learn how she put courage before certainty and confidence, and that what you think might be impossible for you just might be possible. I'm Lorin Mask. Please join me and my best friends at work, Naomi Lippin and Mel Boyd-Brown, where we invite experts to talk about work, life, and leadership, and how to do them better.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Mel, you are joining us from not your usual spot.
Joining us from a different spot. That is true. A little snowy cabin
Love it.
far out of the city. It's very snowy. You can see the dog skiing behind me. It's not my dog.
Making me think of the dog that's running down the thing for the Olympics. Have you guys seen that?
I have not seen that.
Oh
Mm-mm.
my gosh. It's very cute. It's been on social media and apparently some dog, it's like a domestic kind of wolf of some sort, and it's like running down the ski mountain while there's a race going on. And
Really?
apparently, I think it might have been Italian TV, gave it a name and put the Italian flag and then put like a time with it, like you see that on TV. And then it's like running, and there's two skiers crossing the finish line, and the dog's running right behind him and crosses the finish line. And they even did the side view of the dog crossing the finish line. And then they did like some kind of cute dog gold medal of some sort.
Oh, that's really
Very
cute.
funny. The crowd's cheering, and I think the skiers probably thought it was about them, but it was really about the dog running behind them. Of course, there's pictures of the Olympic official people trying to get the dog off the course, but it was not possible. It was very cute. It was very funny. But anyway, the dog skiing made me think of that. So,
Another example of a pet stealing the limelight.
right? Little kids and pets, they're always doing that kind of thing. So I apologize to you guys today. I'm not 100%. I have a head cold. So to all our usual listeners and viewers out there, I will sound a little funky, but I'm in a good mood. It's just in my head, not all over. So we're good. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. Quiet today, huh?
I'm well. I'm hungry. I didn't have lunch yet. I'm like, but that'll be fine. I don't think you'll hear my stomach grumbling as we go through the day.
I am gonna have to have a late lunch too, so we're even, Steven. So I'm
So
excited.
Mel, I have a question for you. Is that
Yeah.
a real background or is that a fake background? I mean, is are we seeing really
Yeah,
where you are?
you you're seeing where I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a little corner of
Lovely.
a cabin and I think you can see wood that's a real wood stove in the background.
Yeah,
And it works. Um yeah, it's a real background. I thought of blurring it, but honestly, it just ends up looking like every time my head moves, it looks weird.
I
So I just
know. I blurred my background. I think it's weird, but
yours looks
people
better
don't.
than mine because I tried mine and it does not look as good as yours.
I don't
Okay.
like the virtual backgrounds on me either. I look funky, but
I
it's
think
okay.
they're weird, but I also don't need for people to see all of the stuff that's behind me. I mean, it's
Although I
not
think normal
terrible,
you have
but
a good background, but that's okay. And Mel's background makes me want to be there with some hot chocolate right now.
I know,
Oh, hot
right?
chocolate.
Yeah, right.
Okay, now you're making me
Yeah.
hungry
Hungry
again.
again. Well, let's get on with our interview then. That way we can all go have lunch. I'm really excited about our guest today. Her name is Lei Wang. I got to know her through all my red team certification training, et cetera, and so forth. And Naomi, did you ever meet her when we were doing all
Yes.
that as well?
Yes. The very, yes.
Very early on. So that's
Yep.
how Naomi and I know her. I've gotten to know her a little more closely lately.
Mhm.
She's done a couple of TED Talks recently. They're not published yet as of this recording, but I think by the time it airs, one or two of them might pop out. But I was so touched. She actually asked me and another colleague to kind of listen to her talk and give some feedback and things like that. And I was like, oh, I'm so honored. And she was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I said, wait a minute, you just fed my ego. Like, you're a great speaker and you have such great things to say, and you care what I think. Like, I was honored. So it was really, I was really touched, and it was a great way to reconnect again. So let me share her bio with her. Lei Wang is a keynote speaker, executive coach, and leadership expert who inspires people to pursue what seems impossible. With an MBA from Wharton and a background in technology and finance, she blends strategic insight with human impact. Lei helps leaders build bold vision, clarity, confidence that drives performance and purpose. She's uniquely lived her message, transitioning from corporate success to becoming, get this, the first American woman to complete the Explorer's Grand Slam. And that is, right, the seven summits, like Mount Everest, etc. And she's also skied to both poles, north and south. And she's got amazing stories around that. Her talks are practical, energizing, transformational, and of course, they leave audiences ready to lead with courage, clarity, and conviction. And I have to say, she definitely inspires me whenever I hear her stories, and then having that professional background and having, those experiences, she can really bring a lot, to companies and organizations and leaders.
Mhm.
And and she's really been creating some practical frameworks. So I'm excited to explore some of those today and bring her on in. Y'all ready?
Oh yeah, I can't wait to
Absolutely.
meet them.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right, let's bring in Lay. Welcome.
Oh, nice
Hello.
meeting you
It's so
guys.
good to
Hello.
see you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Lovely to
Do
meet
you
you.
remember Naomi from the Red Team Thinking? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Nice
Okay,
seeing you
Hello
nice.
again,
again.
Naomi.
And then our other co-host is Mel Boyd-Brown. She hails from the great area of Toronto, our wonderful neighbor of the north. And Mel, this is Lay.
Lei, it's lovely to
Yeah,
meet you. I'm
nice
very
meeting
excited.
you. Thank you.
Well, Lay, we are really excited about you coming today, and I'm excited to introduce you to all of our listeners and our viewers, because every time I hear you speak or I see one of your videos, I'm always inspired by, the things that you've achieved, so far in your young age. Because we're all,
Thank you.
we're young. When I have a 94-year-old dad, we're all young. So share with us, please, just to get us kind of started, what tell us about your journey. We know you have a corporate background. What led you to get out of that, go climb a couple of mountains and ski around North Poles, and then, become a wonderful speaker and coach and author?
Thank you so much, Lauren. Well, I started my journey as a nerd, a school nerd from China, then corporate nerd in technology and finance. I never thought my life would do anything different other than just follow the traditional so-called successful track. Then in 2004, yeah, I think that's 2004, I had just an awakening call. Realized if I don't do something to change my health, I would regret. I felt if I continue my life routine of working 12 hours a day in the corporate and coming home exhausted, then I could end up in a wheelchair by the age of 40. I even imagined that crazy picture. I said, no, I need to do something to change my health. So then I watched some documentary movies and got inspired. Had this crazy idea that, wow, what if I go climb Mount Everest? Then at least I'm going to commit to going to the gym because, you know, a lot of things sound very easy, very simple, but we procrastinate. We had all the excuses not to do something so simple. I just need something to excite me, motivate me to go to the gym. That's my initial motivation. Then that went a little bit too far. In the end, by 2010, I became the first Asian woman, the fourth woman in the world to complete what's called Explorer's Grand Slam. That is to climb the highest mountain on each of the seven continents and ski to both the North and the South Poles. So through that journey, I discovered a new self, like kind of got like stepped into a different identity that gave me the courage to pursue the seemingly impossible goals. So experiencing that transformation myself, I thought I want to bring that to more leaders, more people in the world. So I stepped into speaking and the coaching world to help leaders to find their courage to achieve the seemingly impossible.
Hmm. Um, well, I can say as well, I
Me
mean,
too.
that's amazing. Amazing. I mean, to even do one of those,
Yeah.
s- actually, you did nine things. You climbed successfully climbed seven mountains, right? And then skied two poles. That's you did that in 1 year,
I wish 6 years. It's a
6 years.
long
Okay.
journey.
I
That's
can
why.
imagine. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Still, that's very, very impressive. I'm really curious about what what do you feel like you tapped into internally, Lay, to have that kind of discipline and commitment, particularly now that you mention it, that it was over a 6 year period. That's a long time to um, stay that kind of focused.
Yeah, people probably think, oh, that's just about the determination, about the discipline. Actually, it's not, because discipline can keep you doing things over certain time, but there'll come a time you're going to break down, right? So you
Hmm.
need something deeper instead of the mechanically keep you there. So the deeper part, one, first of all, you need to align your what excites you with your true purpose, your values. It's not something, oh yeah, I'm so excited to go to the summit of this mountain. I'm so excited to earn this title. That's something very superficial. And when something hard comes over a long, 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 long journey, you're going to break down. So you have to have a deep rooted excitement that's deep rooted in your value, in who you are. You're excited about not the summit, about who you are going to become, how you're going to step into a new identity. That kind of deep rooted excitement can keep you going. And then I call it emotional superpowers that a lot of leaders overlooked, because one is this excitement alignment. We talk about the value, about the purpose, about
Hmm.
engage the workforce, but it's the depth, the strength that gives the power to push your team, push yourself to go after something long. And
Hmm.
the other part, yet we know it's a long journey. No matter how excited you are to start, it will come a point you get really bored, because as we know, like people who train for any sport or any artistic skills, learn anything, it's not every moment is fun. Every moment is exciting. You actually have to do a lot of things repetitively to drill, to train, to build a foundation. And pursuing the summit, pursuing any goal itself, as people often say, one step after another, but that one step after another is not just one step after another. It's breathing the element, breathing the fear of all the insecurity, of all the uncertainty, and you have no idea. You put in all the effort. What's waiting for you there? There's nothing is guaranteed. So all those things we need to learn. How do we master boredom? How do we keep
Hmm.
ourselves going in that long journey? So all these things come back to your identity, of shifting your identity in this process that can propel you. And also to start, a lot of steps, as you say, the first step is always fear. Yeah, who am I going to do that? That's impossible. No one has done it, right? We all hear those thoughts and we talk to ourselves that way too. So it's not about, I know I have the skill to do this. I have the proof I can get to that finish line. It's about,
Hmm.
I have the courage to make a decision, even there's no evidence. No one cheer for me. No one say you can do it. I don't even know I can do it, but I will have this courage to make a decision, to take the first step. And I trust after the first step, I will figure out the next step, even though I have no idea when I started what's the next step
Hmm.
look like. I only know take one step at a time. So all those, what I call the 3 emotional superpowers, which is courage over confidence, excitement, alignment, and mastering your boredom. I call it the 3 emotional superpowers that will propel you to achieve the seemingly impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I really love how you've captured those
Mm-hmm.
emotional superpowers because what I'm hearing is it's not just about perseverance, but it's also about tapping into something that's deeper. And you mentioned that as you started answering Naomi's question about like figuring out what it is that drives you, your values. And I'm wondering how did you figure that out as you started this journey, that the why for you that was propelling you to do this? Because what you did was extraordinary.
That's
Mm-hmm.
a great question. Actually, that is the hardest part of this journey. People see the physical part, see you persevere, you had the discipline to go train, to put one step after another, but
Mm-hmm.
to be able to find yourself, understand yourself, see who you are as who you are, is very hard. At beginning, I never thought that was the biggest lesson I learned in the process, because when I had this daydream in 2004, I just graduated from Wharton with an MBA degree. I just started a very envied job in finance. I had the life everyone would dream for, want to get. So I thought I was successful. Everyone telling me, wow, what a successful life, what a successful career. Somehow I felt underlying something is missing. I didn't feel that something I'm excited about. So along the journey, when I started first was because of health goal, right? Then along the journey, then I begin to get panicked because I fell in love with climbing in that process. Then the question is, who are you? You just graduated with MBA with a huge student loan on your shoulder. You started a new job. You grew up a traditional Chinese culture where education, career, everything, normal life, that's what you dream for. That's what you are supposed to do. Now, who are you trying to go climbing? My parents asked me, how are you going to make a living? Can you make money in the mountain? I said, I have no idea. Because at that time, also sports was not something so fashionable. Sports,
Mm-hmm.
the climbing were called dirt baggers. What does that mean? You carry a huge backpack with very cheap food, go into the
Mm-hmm.
mountain, melt the snow, make the water, then pour into some dry food to eat. And you shiver in the night. You came back home dirty, exhausted. You look like no one would think, oh wow, that's a corporate professional I want to follow, right? So that's not the envied life. So I had all the questions like, who am I? Why I'm doing this? Then I asked myself, okay, am I trying to escape something? No, actually I had a pretty good life. Why should I want to escape that life? It's a good life. Okay, do I want to, am I just a person who want to do something easier? That I'm a coward, I cannot face a challenge. So well, to live the life in the mountain was much harder. It's survival against all the elements. That's not the easy path I was choosing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, okay, then what's the answer? That means something in my heart called for that. And that's
Mm-hmm.
very scary because all the time when I was growing up, you know what is a successful career track should look like. What's the best education you should go for? That is something proven, right? And you heard someone talk about a passion, about a dream, but you never thought that's something reachable, available to you. You just think that's a fantasy. People are talking about that as a fantasy. When I realized, wow, nobody even hinted to me, you should go climb. I had this wild dream just pulling me in there. I said, wow, this is passion. this is a dream. This is what people talk about as a fantasy. I can't believe it. I'm actually experiencing that. Then I realize how rare that is. So many
Mm-hmm.
people live through their life without knowing what they are truly excited about, what's their
Mm-hmm.
passion, what's their dream, other than what being told this is what you are supposed to do. So I realized I have a surprise, unexpected, rare gift in my hands. Then now the question is, do you have the courage to
Yeah.
follow your dream, follow your passion? So that's the reckoning that I said, okay, what is the value of my existence? So that's the question, right? So which one is right, which one is wrong? Then who's going to tell you which one is right, which one is wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to make that decision? I realized that all the rules I was following cannot answer this question for me. So I have to dig deeper. Okay, who am I? Who do I want to be? What's the meaning? What's the value? What's the point? What's the purpose I'm existing in this world? Then I realized, yeah,
I was wondering, it sounds like you've done a lot of internal work, but you were also able to recognize in the moment that there was this bigger question for you. And I'm wondering when you're with clients, how do you help clients tap into that?
yeah, that's by asking the question, right? To help them to connect the dots, help them to uncover things they probably didn't even notice in their life, in their past, or in their hidden interest in something, and also try to invite them to tell stories that you can uncover things they don't even realize they have. Because that's the powers of coaching, right? Because I know everyone here is a coach. It's by asking the right questions and listen to the unsaid words. We think we know ourselves. I know who I am. I know what I like. I know what's my strength, what's my weakness. But as a coach, you probably know people don't see their own strengths, don't see their own weakness. So you, by listening to their story, listen to the unsaid word, you uncover things they didn't even know. Then help them, encourage them to make a decision, take one small step, find the courage to step into the unknown. Because it's safe to follow everything we have been doing in the past many years. It's safe to follow the path your boss, your colleague have been following because you know that proven path. Then overcome the fear that what truly aligned with our heart takes a lot of courage. So that's where coaching skills step in. You help your clients see the unseen, find the courage, and help them break down the steps to take one tiny step at a time instead of,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, that's too much, I can't handle, right? Everyone is thinking that, but can you just take that tiny one little step that aligned with you?
I think the
Lauren, you're on
confidence.
mute.
I'm
We
on.
can barely hear you.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
well,
Oh,
I
much
can
I got
hear you
kicked
better.
now.
out. Now I'm back in.
Mm-hmm.
Technology today, but I didn't want to interrupt the recording. Um, so can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that um what I'm hearing you say, courage, courage, but some people just don't have the confidence sometimes with that kind of courage. So can you how do you help people with that?
That's a great question. That's why the first emotional superpower I say is courage over confidence.
Hmm.
Because people always say, like say stepping into a new job, if I can like deliver this project, I'll have the confidence. If I get a promotion, I have the confidence I'm qualified. If I get that sales contract, I'm confident I can be successful in my sales job, right? I start a business. If I can, customer going to buy it, I'm going to make money, I'm going to make a profit, then I'm confident this business is going to work. We want proof. We want evidence to feel confident. However, evidence, proof doesn't come until you step into that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the courage have to go before you have the
Mm-hmm.
confidence. So
Mm-hmm.
then with that understanding, you know, Forget about
Mhm.
confidence. No one had real confidence. What
Mhm.
they had when they step into that first tiny step was just
Mhm.
courage. Trust
Mhm.
yourself, knowing I can handle one
Mhm.
step. Okay, I can
Mhm.
handle one more tiny step.
Mhm.
Then also with the community, the network you're building to support you, to encourage you, to help you to believe yourself a little bit, to make one tiny step, then you're going to go much further than you can ever imagine.
Did you have
Mhm.
a coach when you decided to go climb Mount Everest? And did you have someone like supporting you and helping you, or did you kind of figure this all out on your own?
It was a painful process. I didn't have mentors or guides or coaches at that point to help me figure this out. So
Yeah.
it took me many, many years. That's why it was a painful, long journey to figure out that. However, that gave me the power, gave me the strength
Mhm.
to one believe in myself, to know how to guide other people's.
Mhm.
Courage and
I like.
trust.
Ooh,
Go
Sorry.
ahead,
Go, go.
Mel.
I was just gonna say courage and
everybody's
trust
all
is like
excited. We all want to talk at the same time. Go, 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 y'all.
this courage and trust. I'll say that again. That's what really is sitting out for me. The courage to take the first step and that trust that you can figure out the second step when you get to it. And that's a
Yeah.
really powerful way of tackling something, right? Of not thinking you have to have it all figured out all at once. You just have to figure out step by step. It reminds me of like when things are really foggy. My dad used to say to me growing up, or my mom, like, well, you just have to see 5 feet in front of you, and then
Exactly.
you'll see 5 feet the next time, right? That's a beautiful way
Mhm.
to think about it. Naomi, you were going to ask something.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, I was just thinking how I really like how you position courage before confidence, because I really do think that that's the truth for many people. That whole thing about imposter syndrome, right? Which speaks to, I think, what you're saying, which is you might think that you belong in the room, but if you take the step into the room and you do what you set out to do, that will help you develop the confidence. But to expect the confidence to come first can actually maybe keep you from taking that first step. So I
Exactly.
think that that's a really important message for people to take in, and very powerful one.
Thank
And if I
you.
could add to that, Naomi, I think what I'm thinking about as I'm listening to this conversation is also like this acceptance that it is okay to feel uncomfortable or to not know, right? That that's not a sign that we can't do it. It's just a sign that we don't have it all completely figured out yet. And that might actually help us to keep going.
And the truth is, every one of us have done that in the past.
Hmm.
When you stepped into a
Hmm.
new school, do you know you're going to love everyone in your class? You're going to
Yeah.
make good friends, right?
Hmm.
You go on a first date. Do you know that person going to become your partner of the lifetime? You don't know. You took the courage to step into the unknown in the past and the trust you're going to figure out. You know how to evaluate situation, how to make decisions. Even you didn't even realize what you were doing was basically courage before
Hmm.
confidence.
Hmm.
One of the
Hmm.
things that you talk about a lot is this idea around, doing something that's seemingly impossible, seemingly, right? You kind of did something that would seemingly be impossible by, being the first Asian woman to, do all this climbing and the trekking and the adventures and things like that. So how is your past experience and your courage, how do you translate that into teaching others how to pursue that impossible concept?
That is about the understanding the power of pursuing the seemingly impossible. Why we should do that? Because when you think about when you pursue the seemingly impossible, you probably the first thing you come to your mind is, well, impossible, then that means I'm not going to be able to get it. And that's exactly the point, because when you give yourself permission to fail, you say, oh, I know I'm probably not going to be successful on my first attempt, even my 10th attempt. Then you accept failure is okay. Then I'll just try, and I'm not going to be surprised if I fail. But if you trust, if I try, I'm going to learn something. Then that take away the fear. I know I'm going to fail. I'm just coming here to experiment, to try something new and learn something. Then you may find yourself, oh, I just want to try one more. Then you're going to realize, oh, I'm really close to that seemingly impossible goal now. Maybe I'll try a little bit further, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of excitement and also it's courage to try it. And also you don't have to worry about failure. You don't have to worry about fear. Enable us to step into a new identity because when you think about someone who, when you imagine yourself, someone doing that seemingly impossible thing, you don't see yourself, right? You see someone totally different. You see someone so higher up, so capable, so powerful. That's a new identity. But when you realize you
Mm-hmm.
are so close to that, or you are getting closer to that, you see yourself stepping into that new identity. That's a very powerful drive for you to say,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it's like for me to stand there. Well, I wonder what it's like for me to be able to do that. That new identity shift give you a lot of power, a lot of excitement. That's how business leaders, when you bring this excitement back to your team, they will be wondering, what if we create something no one said is possible, but we make it? Wow, that's so exciting. I'm going to learn new skills. I'm going to build new capacities. And that
Mm-hmm.
excitement will propel you actually achieve it. And also the word simile. A lot of time we think impossible is absolutely impossible. Actually, most of the time it's only seemingly impossible. When you keep trying, learning, growing, that seemingly part shrink, then disappeared. Then you're going to say, wow, now I'm really the person I dreamed to become. I am at where I dreamed to be at. Then you
Mm-hmm.
achieve that used to look like seemingly impossible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So are
I'm
you,
curious.
oh
Oh,
no,
go
go
ahead, Lynn.
Naomi.
No, go ahead.
Are so here's the thing that's kind of popping up for me is the fear factor. For some, they don't have a problem, jumping off a cliff wearing a parachute like my daughter did recently. And then there are people that are like, no, wait, not ever, ever, ever. So there's so many people who stay stuck in an identity that may not be right for them, but even if it's not right, it's well known and comfortable. How do you talk people into that? Like, how do you, like, I just, I'm curious because, it's something I think about all the time. I'm a risk taker, obviously, starting my own business, Naomi, Mel, on some level, we forsaken the safety net that might be there. We had a guest on here who quit her six-figure corporate job and became a flight attendant on an airplane with a significantly less salary and still's like, how am I going to take care of my family? And she's like, I don't know, I'll figure it out, right? So that there is this whole idea of courage, but a lot of people don't manage to summon it up.
That's a very good question. So before you can find the courage to overcome the fear, first, are you really excited about that goal you are trying to step into? Why? If that is deeply aligned with you, then you can break down the steps to take
Mm-hmm.
one small step at a time. But if that's
Mm-hmm.
not aligned with you, what's the point for me to overcome that fear? Of course, I don't have
Mm-hmm.
any power, any drive, any motivation to step into the fear. So we first
Mm-hmm.
need to find that deeper power from the alignment between their excitement and their value. Then I
hmm
got so excited. I really want to achieve that because that is tied to who I am, what I value, what is important for me. I know it's scary. Okay, then kind of take one tiny step because now you have the excitement, the drive. I want to do that. It's just so scary. That's a huge step. Then we can help them break down the step to take one tiny thing, one tiny step
hmm
towards that.
hmm hmm Yeah, I think what you just said also connects to, we're all familiar with Simon Sinek's
Hmm.
golden circle and the why being kind of at the heart of things. So that's true for companies and organizations. I totally agree with you. It's also true for us as human beings. We need to really get in touch with our core principles and what motivates us, which is our why, right? And once we do that, the manifestation or the expression of that can take different forms, right? For you,
Hmm.
it took being this extraordinary, extraordinarily successful adventurer, right? But you and I might have a sort of similar, I'm not saying we do, I don't know what your why is, but let's say we did, but mine took a different expression, right? But really knowing what that is, I think is core. Just like you say, and it's true for how we live our lives, it's also true for how we show up in the workplace.
It's
Exactly.
so much, Naomi. I love how you frame that because it is the work, right? Of getting clear about what it is that I really value, what is it that I really care about, where is it that I want to create impact, how do I want to create impact? And it can be so easy to get distracted by our everyday life about the things that are happening right in front of us that we also can lose sight of what are the things that really are most meaningful for us.
hmm I want to thank you, and I agree. And Lei, I'm curious. You are the first Asian woman to do a number of really extraordinary accomplishments. Do you view yourself as a role model?
Mm.
Now I do. When I
Mm-hmm.
started, I, of course, I wasn't thinking that far. When I started, I just thinking, wow, that's a daydream, can get me into the gym, right? So, but along the journey, during some of my hardest moment, when I was experiencing a lot of obstacles, challenges, failures, of setbacks, sometimes I question why I'm on this journey. Can I continue on this journey? That's the time I was reminded. So many people have been following my journey, looking up to me, want to see me succeed because when you see someone who had no background in sports, had no foundations in all those kind of things, not the kind of person who pursue those kind of dream, can succeed, give people some kind of evidence, some kind of proof, some kind of courage, they can go pursue their own seemingly impossible goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that. That's because I received a lot of messages, encouragement. So I knew I need to keep going because I'm sending the message of courage to those people by keep going. And that is also the core value for myself during those years when I was questioning who I am, why I'm doing this. I see it that I want to be the person who has the courage to follow what calls you, have the courage to follow what
Mm-hmm.
simply against
Mm-hmm.
what you are trained for, you are supposed
Mm-hmm.
to do. So I want to be the person who has the courage. So a lot of time I remind myself that value and also knowing that's why people look up to me, want to see me be successful so they can pursue their own dreams.
What do you
Mm-hmm.
say to people who don't even really know that they're stuck?
What a great question.
Yeah, that's actually it's applicable to me when I started. I had a good job, good life. I wasn't stuck until something calling my heart so strongly. I was wondering what's wrong with me, right? I didn't realize sometimes something is missing in your life, in your career, you don't even realize until something else calls you. So that will be complacent with where you are actually is very dangerous. So if you have a very comfortable, very stable life, I don't mean that it's wrong. Sometimes that is exactly what you want. But if you are having a good life, good job, but you are not excited about it, there's something missing. You're not stuck, but there's something missing. Then
Mm-hmm.
maybe you need to make more friends, different friends, explore different hobbies, read different kind of books, have different kind of conversations. That to open your mind, to broaden your view, to see a different perspective. Maybe that will awaken something in you that you didn't even realize is missing. So you're not exactly stuck, but it could be misaligned.
You were
Mm.
saying early in the beginning that, I have this good life and, da da da, I'm moving along, I'm working on my computer, and you just say, maybe I should climb Mount Everest. Like, what was your catalyst? Like, what made you zero in on something like that?
Well, at that time, I was thinking about my health because working 12 hours a day,
Hmm.
you don't see sunshine. You live in dark, come back
Right.
home in dark. You spend all the time on computer inside. So I begin to worry about my health.
Right.
I was very healthy at that time. I was young, but I begin to have this kind of pictures of myself. If I keep going like this, I
Hmm.
could be in a wheelchair by 40, by 50. I don't want that to happen. Then I need to do something about my health, even though there's no diagnosis from the doctors. There's no piece of paper telling you have to change. I just have that kind of
Hmm.
vision of future self. I might be in danger if I don't do something.
Yeah, but
So
some
I
people
need
just
to,
go to the gym.
yeah, I need to go to the gym. But every day after work, you are so tired. I don't have the energy to go to the gym. After work, I just want to sleep. I don't want to do anything. I need
Hmm.
something to motivate me. So I happened to watch a documentary movie about climbing. That gave me a daydream that, oh, what if I go climb Everest? So I was just laughing after that. I'm just have a daydream so I can just use that as an excuse to get myself into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
By having that goal. Yeah, I've heard you in your talks before when, you don't feel like, you know, getting up and putting on that pack and exercising, the things that you had to do, to get ready for your adventures and the sheer amount of training. What kept you motivated?
Well, I never thought I would accomplish that goal. I never thought I would really climb Everest. So it was just a daydream. So only motivation in the beginning was just for my health. I need
Hmm.
to go to the gym.
Right.
But then I discovered the fun in it. Then, oh, I want to just learn this. Oh, I want to learn that. Oh, I want to go out another day. I want to go out for another climb. So gradually that became my passion. Then take no effort. When you love something, you don't need to ask why. I just want to go, right? So that is once you connect to who you are, that excitement can propel you overcome a lot of those fear or in action, all those kind of things.
So
Mm-hmm.
then you buy your airplane ticket and you get with your group and now you're committed. Did you have any doubts?
Well, as I said, when you go to pursue a seemingly impossible goal, you basically give yourself the ticket to fail already. I don't know who am I, what I'm capable. I'm just going to try it. And I'm totally won't be surprised if I fail. So yeah, so that you give yourself, you buy the ticket and also buy the ticket of failure first. So that's how
Hmm.
you get started.
Well, I'm curious. So there's Mel and Naomi here. It was my idea to start our podcast. And the two of them were like, I never would have done that with,
Yeah.
except I talked them into it.
Naomi, Mel, what are your thoughts about like when you did something that you thought might be a little scary, like even just doing a podcast? Is any of that? I don't know. It
Hmm.
makes me think of some of the things you guys said, like, you know, when you have a catalyst of some sort, sometimes that makes you do something you think you'd never do, right?
Absolutely. And I think, Lay, what I love about what you've said a few times is this giving yourself permission to fail, right? And take a risk. And if you give yourself permission to do that and to shift your mindset to learning and growing from whatever endeavor you're trying, right? Then there is no failure. Then failure is just this concept and word because as long as you're learning something, like from this podcast, like if it was, whatever would happen, I know that I would learn something from this experience. And so just for that reason, it's worth doing.
Exactly. When you set the bar so high and you are not expecting yourself to be perfect, that just liberates you, take away all the fear.
Right, very liberating. And also just one other thing, and sorry, Mel, but there you mentioned something about, being on the mountain or wherever and it's cold and you're uncomfortable. I think trying new things, you have to get comfortable with discomfort
Hmm.
because whenever you're putting yourself out there in a new kind of way, it's you're bound to not be comfortable, at least in some parts of it. So I also think that your journey really exemplifies that as well. I think that's also really important for us as human beings and for workplaces and leaders to really accept that want to make a change in this department, people are not going to be comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Then, Lay, after you go and you do all these adventures, then you decide to do public speaking and do keynote speaking. And that's the number one fear in the world, the number one phobia, public speaking. Did you feel like that was impossible as well, or did it feel natural after your adventures?
Well, first of all, English is not my first language. Second of all, I was such a book nerd, introvert. If you saw me in the parties before, you're going to find me in the corner, not in the center. I didn't like to talk, didn't and was shy, and of course, talk in front of people that would be even bigger fear. So, but all those things, when I was thinking about people want to hear my message, want to hear my story, then I can forget about that. And also that kind of courage came from one of my mentors before, because I definitely had this, who am I going to there? Who want to listen to me? I have all those kinds of things, right? And then my mentor said to me, people not is not here to judge your English. People is not here trying to pick on your pronunciations. People are here to hear your story, to learn from you. Then I put, okay, forget about this is not about me. This is not about do I look good? Do I sound good? It's about am I sharing valuable insights with people? Am I giving a gift to people? People coming here get what they need to hear. Will my message change their life? So that became my focus instead of worrying about do I look good? Do I sound right? That's most of the speaker when they first step on the stage, they think about that. But gradually they're going to realize no one come here to judge anything about you. They come here thinking, what's in it for me? What can I learn from this? Right? So once you realize that, then okay, as long as I give people valuable insights, gifts, they can change their life. I accomplished what I'm here for.
I love
Mm.
that, Lay, and I have to tell you,
Beautiful.
I
It
feel like we
is.
could listen to you all day long. And guess what? Some of our listeners can. They can definitely check out the videos you have out there, and of course your upcoming TED Talks. We're very excited about those coming out, and I lucky to have like a little insight into them prior to your doing them. So I want to just wrap things up for today and let our listeners and our viewers go explore a little bit more about Lei Wang and your books and all that and your videos. Before we wrap up, what's one action that anyone who's listening or watching can do the minute the recording ends and they go, first step? Could you talk about that? What's one first step that you would recommend?
Yeah, definitely. So for any speaker, the most important thing is I don't want people to say, wow, that's a great talk. I want people to say, this is what I'm going to do because of your talk. So since we're talking a lot about courage, so I want everyone to do just a little courage audit. What is something you wanted to do, but you're a little bit scared, have been postponing? Maybe
Mm,
postponing for weeks, for years, forever. What is the one small thing that you are postponing? No, what's that little dream or little something goal you are postponing? And what is one tiny step you can take to move forward?
mm,
What a great invitation, right?
mm-hmm. Love
That's
it.
a
Thank
great
you.
invitation, and I think I'm gonna do that.
I'm going to
Hmm.
do it.
Me
So
too.
I'm gonna take that advice.
Hmm.
Mel, Naomi, and we'll check in with you, Lay, and we'll let you know what our first step was.
I would
Right.
love to hear that. Please share and tag me. I want to know what's the thing you have been postponing and what's the first step you're going to take.
I love that. Thank
Right.
you
I
so
love
much.
it.
Thank you so much for today. I'm sorry my
Hmm.
tech kind of jumped out and had to jump back in. I know I missed some probably golden nuggets. I can't wait to look at the recording that I popped out.
Such a fun experience. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Mal. Thank you, Naomi.
It was
Oh, well,
Thing.
we're
our
grateful.
such a great, I mean, it's been such a pleasure to
Oh, I
listen to
agree.
you. You are
Yeah,
just so articulate and have such a powerful message to share. So thank you.
Yeah,
yeah,
very inspired,
absolutely.
very, very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank
Very
Hmm.
inspiring.
All
yeah.
right. Take care, Mel. I mean, Lay, not Mel. Oh my God, this head
Yeah.
cold.
Thank
Head
you,
cold. I'm dealing with the
everyone.
Bye.
head
Have a
Thank
cold.
great day.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know I missed some good nuggets at the beginning.
I could have kept chatting to her all day. That was so interesting.
Normally watch the clock before I do my last question, and I realized, oh gosh, I'm not paying attention to the time, and I'm usually pretty good at that.
Yeah. She's very clear, very inspiring, very motivating, and absolutely I'm going to think about, okay, what's one thing that I have been scared to do that I
Mm,
want to do? And I love the mindset of um, not just doing it for yourself, but really
mm,
doing it to,
Yeah.
help other people. Like, yeah.
yeah, agree.
So, right. And really being clear about your why, I think
Yeah,
is really important. Why am I doing this? Like, why did, why for me, why am I pursuing all this hard work about doing a business when I'm at an age where many people stop? I've
yeah,
put in a lot of years of working, and but I'm not ready to stop because I feel like there's still more things that I want to um, be of service with in the world.
Yeah.
mm.
That's
Is that part of
amazing.
your why, Naomi? Is the being of service?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
yeah,
Always has been my whole life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can see that about you. Yeah,
Mhm. Well, I see that about you guys too.
yeah,
I mean, who goes into this work?
yeah, yeah,
You know,
Crazy people.
you want, if you don't want to have a positive impact in the world,
Yeah.
right? Who does it, right?
Right.
You could be
Yeah.
taking your talents and probably, making a whole lot more money doing something else if money was your why. And
Yeah.
I don't, yes, do does everyone need, do we need money to live? Yes. But is that your driving purpose? I don't
Yeah.
think, and I could be wrong for either of you two. It's not like your driving purpose. It's something you need, but it's not what drives you.
Well,
Yeah.
and you know what I think is interesting about what you just said, Naomi? And I'm thinking about what Lei had to say about, courage and taking the one step and the dream. And so many people, go their whole lives of, having a dream. And so, I find my daughters when their friends are over and they're talking about, oh, they want to do this, they want to do that, but oh, I'm doing that. I'm like, no, 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 no. You're young. Go pursue the dream at a young age, and you can always change later when you get older. And there's a great quote. It's on my bulletin board by Maya Angelou. It said, "There's no greater agony than bearing an old untold story inside you."
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, to me, what I take away from Lei is, you know, overcome the complacency of some sort, the safety. What can you do to go towards that? And I feel like I'm in the middle of that right now. A little bit. Been dreaming of doing stuff like this for a really, really long time. And now
No,
kind of in the middle of it, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
you're starting to
Well,
do it.
you're doing it, and we're here to help you because that's another thing. Didn't really get a chance to ask Lay this because I'm I'm curious. My perspective and it's my mindset is that um, you know, it's helpful to have community. It's helpful to have people around you that support you, that are your cheerleaders for your dream, for
Yeah.
helping you make that dream come true. Can you do it all by yourself? Obviously, and I think you can, but I do think that um, finding people who uh, support and love you is really important also. So
Yeah.
we're here for you, Lauren. Yay.
We're your best
Yay!
friends at work.
Best friends at work, and I'm glad I got to drag you guys along.
I'm
No,
glad you
not
did too.
drag, not drag.
Invite.
We're here.
All right. Sometimes I feel like I had to twist an arm or two, but maybe not. I'm so
Gently.
glad.
Gently.
Gently, gently twist it. Well, thanks, guys, for, as I always say, for coming on this journey with me. It's exciting to meet new people or, for each one of us to introduce someone we know to you, each one of you. And we hope that, I like to invite people to our listeners and our watchers and our viewers to learn and meet someone new as well. And hopefully some sparks happen today. So thanks, guys, as
Thank
always.
you.
Okay. Lots of love. All right.
Stay
Till the
warm.
next one. See ya.
Bye.